Okay, this last segment will cover hopefully a little bit more traffic. One of the things that I decided on this product development was that it would never indicate that you should accelerate, nor will it ever indicate anything regarding braking. I originally thought about maybe adding some things with braking, but from a liability and safety standpoint, I realized that's just too risky. Again, part of the terms and conditions of opening the package and using the product are going to cover that sort of stuff to say that, this device only suggests when you should reduce accelerator pressure. We're reaching a boundary condition here. That's what all that flickering was about. There isn't a good crossover between the rate of speed where we're only looking at acceleration versus where we're looking at other engine parameters. And obviously in the final product, that's going to be dealt with. We want a good handover between the two different algorithms. Okay, let's see if we get lucky here. Taking off from a red light. There's another light further up. It's probably going to stay green. Well, nope, it didn't. So that's a good example. There's all these vehicles ahead of me that took off pretty fast from the red light. They were right in front of me at the light. And they got stopped. Whereas I'm going slower. There's a vehicle in front of me right now, but I did not have to stop completely. And again, the savings and not having to stop completely is huge. For example, one of the trips that I was taking, I was comparing same trip to work, doing equal comparisons, same basic conditions, all that stuff, but there was about a 3% difference in total fuel consumption. And what I found out was that 3% was consumed by two relatively long stops for traffic lights. And in the case of this particular vehicle, that definitely makes a big difference. At any rate, some of the vehicles that were ahead of me had to stop at this last light that we just went through, but I did not. And again, that's just another example of how limiting acceleration actually helps, for a number of reasons. Now we're approaching another light, and this one is going to be too long to coast through, I'm sure. So yeah, a big part of the program and what we say people could achieve in terms of fuel savings is going to be heavily predicated on following both the advice of the unit as well as some of these other tips regarding when you should take your foot off the accelerator, as far as when the light turns red up ahead in the distance, or when you're getting off the highway, coasting down the ramp as opposed to going down the ramp under power. Little things of that nature. This particular section of road is good to cover one of the aspects about following the terrain. Speed limit here is 35 miles an hour, and of course we can't advocate people breaking the law, needless to say. But by the same token, I'm not going to prevent somebody from speeding since I don't know what the speed limit is. Nor will I tell them to decelerate if they are still in a driving regime that is efficient. So even though the speed limit's 35, right now I'm doing about 42 because we're going down a hill, because there's a couple of uphills coming next, and I want to be as efficient as possible. And as you may have noted, the light did not come on while going down that hill and going faster. So it's only going to indicate when you're driving inefficiently. If you're driving illegally, well, that's your problem. At any rate, we're approaching the hills, and again, the behavior of the final product will be to go to a solid yellow illumination as long as I'm holding my acceleration, or even decelerating some. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we hit a crossover point there, so you can ignore that. And we just crested the hill and are back to efficient driving again. Vehicles up there that were right in front of me well before the hill, and they've of course gained quite a bit of ground on me. But once again, the next light is red and I'm coasting, and even though they were driving faster than me, we're all stuck at the same light, which happens fairly frequently. Try to get a shot which shows the vehicles ahead of me more than the indicator. I'm going to keep myself under the minimum acceleration requirements of the device, and you can observe what the vehicles ahead are doing. They're of course pulling away, and we'll see how long that lasts. Again, I am going at a very low rate of acceleration right now. Works out to about 0.28 meters per second. And now that we've crested the hill, I'm going to continue to accelerate because it is still efficient to do so. And I've got one more hill to crest before we make our final turn. What you can see is, I did make some ground on the vehicle ahead of me, not that it really mattered. But what I do have as a result of this is a very good separation distance, which again I think is an added benefit. So that will conclude this section of recording. Let me know what you think, and I'll see about getting a tripod in here and getting some more steady shots of this. Let's do that.